Hello, how are you? Yes, we are here to do some science, and this is the last lesson in the three lessons about oil spills that we have been doing. How are you today? I hope that you are having a great day. I am, of course, and I am very happy to be here to do science with you again. Okay, so let's go over our learning target right away. Our learning target is I can explain how humans can prevent oil spills and how they can help after one has occurred. Okay, so there are some simple things that we can do to prevent the oil spills, and also we need to help after it has happened because it is tragic for the ocean organisms and for the organisms that live around the ocean when an oil spill happens. So after that happens, since we were drilling oil for our benefit, we must help the organisms that are affected by our actions, right? So I want to ask you a question, boys and girls. When you just finish eating something that is greasy, something that has a lot of oil, maybe you had a dish that had a steak, okay? Or maybe you had a baked potato with a lot of butter on top, okay? Or maybe you had some spaghetti that had olive oil, okay? So when you use a dish, okay, you finish eating your food and the dish has a lot of oil left, what do you do to clean that dish? Or maybe you don't do it, maybe your dad does it, or your sister or brother, or your mom, or I hope it is you. But what do you do when you finish eating and you have a dish that is very oily? Before you put it away, what do you do with that dish? What do you do? Think about that. What is the process that you have to go through to be able to get the oil off that dish? So what do you do? When you have a dish that you just finished eating and it's very oily and you have to put it away, but you cannot put it away like that in the cabinet, right? What do you do with that? We wash the dishes, right? That's what we do. But do we wash it just with water? What is something that we use to wash the dishes that takes that oil, that grease off? That's right. We use soap. Soap helps get that grease off the dishes. So I want you to keep that in mind, okay? Because we are going to be doing some things related to soap today, okay? Related with soap. So keep that in mind as we talk about how we can prevent oil spills and what do we have to do after they happen, okay? So I want us to use a website that I found that is called Oil Spills, okay? And I want us to find what are some ways that we can prevent oil spills, okay? And this is, of course, not for you because you don't work in a place, you don't work in a rig, okay? But these are ways that the workers on a rig or on the place where the oil is being extracted, these are things that they can do to prevent the oil spill, okay? So let's read over here together. It says, the best way to prevent an oil spill is to prepare in advance. Perform regular maintenance or on associated equipment and do the following. Check equipment on a regular basis. Replace worn and cracked hydraulic fittings and lines. Use a drip tray or an oil tray. Eliminate potential areas in piping where water can accumulate. Conduct appropriate employee training. And contact spill response as soon as something happens. So I would like you in your notebooks, okay? In your notebooks, I'd like you to write about 3 of these things that the workers at an oil rig can do to prevent an oil spill? I mean, I know that there is nothing you can really do about that because you're not a worker, but we need to be informed. We need to be aware because this oil, we use it for so many things, and we need to make sure that we know what is happening on our planet. We need to know, we need to be informed, okay? So I'm gonna put the website one more time, and I want you to write three things that oil workers can do to prevent oil spills. So there is the list. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for just a little bit. So check equipment on a regular basis, replace worn and cracked hydraulic fittings, eliminate potential areas of piping where water can accumulate, conduct appropriate employee training. These are all things that workers can do and companies can do to prevent oil spills. But I had news for you, boys and girls. Even when workers do all of those things, okay? Even when companies do those things, guess what? We still have oil spills. We still have oil spills. You know, fossil fuels, we use them for so many things. But we're going to do some lessons about that later. But we're going to have to find other ways because they cause so much damage. And even when they do all of these things to prevent the oil spill, they still happened. So now, what can humans do? What can we do when an oil spill does happen? Okay? When oil is spilled in the ocean and the organisms there are affected. What can we do after that happens? Now, before we watch a video on how people actually clean up these oil spills, I want us to do a little experiment. If you are home or if you are in school, okay, maybe your teacher can help you. We're going to need a list of things. Let me show you what we are going to need for this. So you are going to need a container with water, some cooking oil, not a lot, 1 spoon, some cotton, and a piece of cloth. Okay? Container with water, cooking oil, spoon, cotton, and cloth. It would be better if you do this when your parents are there, but if you are a responsible 4th grader, you can do this very easily, okay? So you're gonna go get a container with water. You're gonna drop just a little bit of oil inside, not a lot, just a little bit of oil, a few tablespoons, okay? And then you're gonna stir the water and the oil. I'm sure you noticed that the oil goes to the top, goes to the surface, right? Did you notice that? Okay, so now what I want you to do is take the spoon and try to get all that oil out of there and see if you're able to get it all. It's pretty difficult, huh? So whatever is left in there, where you see a little drop of oil, just go ahead and put the cotton and see if it takes it up. If it picks it up. And now use the cloth. And you really want to know which one works better. If picking it up with the spoon, with the cotton, or with the cloth. Okay? And of course, this is not crude oil, this is cooking oil, but they kind of behave a little bit the same. So keeping that in mind now and which one worked better, okay? Let's watch a video. And the link for this video, the title is How to Clean Up an Oil Spill, okay? How to clean up an oil spill. It's that one right there, okay? How to clean up an oil spill. So it's a video where there's a lady that is talking about how we can clean up an oil spill. As you watch that video, I want you to take notes. So what can we do what can humans do to clean up that oil spill? Okay? So take notes of that. Watch it carefully. If you have to watch it a couple of times, watch it a couple of times. So after the oil spill happens, there are many things that we can do, as individuals and also companies. There are many things that they can do to try to help the organisms that were affected by the oil spills. So how many things did you write down? I wish that I could see your list, but I cannot. So now I want you to take a few minutes to answer this question, okay? Write a paragraph to answer this question. Why do we, when I say we, I'm talking about humans, why do humans continue drilling oil in the oceans if oil spills are so harmful to the oceans and so difficult to clean? So why do we continue to drill in the oceans if oil spills are so harmful to the oceans and so difficult to clean? So think about that. Why do we continue drilling? Why? So what do you write? Why? Why do humans continue drilling in the oceans if it is so harmful? Well, I hope that you were able to make a connection to the first lesson, because we use oil for so many things. We use crude oil for so many things, even for lipstick, right? So we continue doing it, even if we know that that an oil spill is going to be harmful, because we have so many uses for it. And one of the main uses is gasoline to fuel our cars, our buses, our planes. So we continue to do it because we use it for so many things. So I have another question for you. Can we stop using oil? Can we? Okay? And think about, remember, renewable sources of energy and unrenewable sources of energy. So can we stop using oil? Or can we decrease the amount of oil that we use? Can we? That's something that we really have to think about very seriously. Can we stop using oil? We are going to do maybe a couple more lessons on things that we can do. There are things that you and I can do to actually try to decrease the amount of fossil fuels, including oil, that we use. So there are a few things that we can do to help our planet, right? The only one that we have, so we got to take care of it. And still have the comfortable lives that we have gotten used to, right? So we're going to discuss that in some future lessons. So let's go back to the learning target to see if you actually got that learning target. Here's the learning target. I can explain how humans can prevent oil spills and how we can help after one spill has occurred, okay? So if you cannot answer this question, go back to that video and go back to the website and watch it again so that we can explain how we can help, okay? All right, so I hope that you enjoyed the lesson. Have a great day, and I will see you next time to do some more science, okay? Have a good day. Bye.